This is where I left off. This is where we learn how to edit. We learn how to do all those things. Because I'm going to have to put on my own show. And start speaking about this on YouTube. Anyways, back to my readings and teachings. We left off with the Book of Mormon. We're going to continue with the Quran. The clear Quran is what they call it. Wish I had a little bit more lighting, but I don't know how much louder they're going to get. So, since they're doing whatever they do now and they stop working, I'll continue reading. When the noise cuts back in, I'll stop recording and continue later. Quran, you heard a bunch of things in between that were out of subject. Quran will come back at you with the reminder that we're here to realize where the Quran stands in God's word, and that the power of God is in the Quran. It will stay on subject. What's the subject? Clarity within the books. The truth being spoken. And I'll leave it back again to God as I close my eyes, put my head down, and there's no magic. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to open the book. Wherever it opens and it falls is where I read. That's called randomness. You talk to anybody about anything, they know when you're dealing with God, it's got to be random. I mean, it's got to be something not planned, something just came out of nowhere, just bam, like, wow, look. But this has already been written, so this already is something that's been there, but it's new to me. And on the subject, what the subject is, it's new to the subject. And it reads, 35, 240, the originator, Fatiel, the originator, Fatiel. I don't know how to speak that language, but I'm trying to do my best. Fetiel. Later on, maybe when I continue this, somebody can actually be like, hey, that is how you say it. No, that's not how you say it. You pronounce it. You know. This Meccan chapter demonstrates God's infinite power. God's infinite power through the marvels of his creation in contrast with the powerlessness of the pagan idols, which we were just reading. The prophet is consoled by the fact that many prophets were denied before him. The believers are promised of a great reward in paradise. Verses 31-35, while the disbelievers are warned of a scathing punishment in hell. All these themes are echoed in the next chapter, and the hell ones are 36-39. Hell for a minute. My own opinion, just my own opinion. It can never be a fact until I've gone through it, obviously. Faith usually tries to label it as a fact, though, and if I believe in the faith the way I do, so in a sense, this is not my opinion, this is the spiritual fact, but this is my carbon opinion, if you understand what I mean by carbon, because we're all just carbon copies. What I mean by carbon copies, the flesh. That's your carbon copy. Why you think everything you eat has to have carbohydrates? Well, carbohydrates, based on the word carbon in the actual word carbohydrates, relates to your life. So we're made of carbon. We're the carbon copy. The spirit, well, that's the infinite copy. I can't explain that one too well. I didn't create that. I didn't create this either, but I know what carbon is. And I know that I eat carbohydrates. So at least I'm intelligent enough to know that much, you know? The originator, again, back to that. And we'll go on with this from the clear Quran. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. God's power, number one, creation and Mercury. All praise is for God, the originator of the heavens and the earth, who made angels as his messengers with wings, 2, 3, or 4. He increases in creation whatever he wills. Surely God is most capable of everything. Whatever Mercury God opens up for people, none can withhold it. And whatever he withholds, none but him can release it. For he is the Almighty, all-wise. I'm going to stop there because I noticed that the word angel keeps being repeated. And someone told me, or at least when I read the book, it told me that someone's getting their angel wings in heaven right now. And we all know what that means, you know. I wanted to ask God, and I want to wish God that I'm not that angel they talk about, you know, because I have no belief in that angel. But if there is such one, I don't want anything of this. Just to let you know, I don't desire anything. I don't like to lie. I don't like to lie. I like to tell the truth. I'm about the truth. The only times I do lie is when I'm really hurt and I'm holding on to a real deep grudge. And I feel like, you know what, you want to keep screwing me, I'm gonna screw you back, right? So that's the only time I can say I'm very dishonest or bad, you know what I mean? Um, but other than that though, it'll take time for me to get over. But if there is such a spirit, and if I gotta take that place, because I did say when Trump takes place in office, you know, Trump would have been good if he would have said, you know, God first, but he said America first. And he even got the message from his own Christian buddies, his own white community. And I'm white, just to let you know, but I do mention white people because I think sometimes my skin, so I'm speaking deep about this, my skin sometimes ain't right with the way they think and the privilege they have over everyone else. Even though so many of them, you know, prove that obviously, right? You'd rather be the good hand or the bad hand type things, what they say, but there is no bad. I'm talking about the shit hand. Sorry for my word again. You know, they'll be both. I want to stay on top, right? So who wouldn't? All I'm saying is that so I can't blame my brothers for what they do. I can't knock them on that. Come on, please. But at the same time, like, yeah, we do get a lot of that, and I don't obviously because the way I am and things that I do and how deep I'm with God. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, way of thinking, you can't really be much with God because you respect God's word. You try to ride the other side. I'm cool. So, anyways, though, without that though, this book wouldn't be here. So, there's some things about that you gotta understand too. I'm gonna continue with the book. Just leave everything else out of it, you know. But if I gotta be that, so the 1,000 years can start. Cause like I said, God said you got 1,000 years of rulership. Trump does at least, or Trump society, meaning that for the next 1,000 years, America's gonna rule because Satan's got to rule, right? Because see, that's what made Trump choose the other side when he forgot to say God first. He said, you know, America first. He didn't say Satan first, but he said America first. Well, if we replace anything other than God, it's Satan. And that's what I'm trying to say. The flesh being us, the spirit being God. Wow. Then really, in reality, all humans are devils because it's the choices we make that makes us either a devil or God's child. So when I'm saying that is that that's what I believe the embodiment of Satan is. Us as human beings, not with God. That's Satan's world. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way I can only describe as in a rulership, as in one leader. I mean, Trump is Trump, but he is not Satan. The man actually has a good heart and a good vibe to the things that he likes and wants and how he wants to be remembered. But the fact of, other than the self-centeredness, you know, Trump's just a dude, you know what I mean? But it's still though, the fact that he did. So who is Satan? The embodiment of whatever is against God's work. That's my opinion on that. As a fact, I'm not sure if the spirit labels it a fact. My opinion as a carbon copy, that's what I believe. Yeah, like I said, I'll go ahead and continue with this, you know what I'm saying? And then just like Christianity, you know what I'm saying? That's Jesus, you know? That's the embodiment of God's body. Jesus got to be the Godhead, you know what I'm saying? Hence the sun in the background. You know the sun. You know that yellow object in the back of the head when you see in those paintings, the sun. They say it's a halo, but it's actually a sun. You know, it's the sun. You know, the sun, illumination. You know, sun. So Jesus to me is the sun, the star, where he gets his power, where he draws his energy. The sun. The sun is Jesus. So why is it the sun? Because if you think about the sun, it's called the sun, and then at the same time it's in the universe. So guess what? It's birthed by God. And that star is what gives us the energy. And if you understand when they read your Libra, Aries, you'll figure it out what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get into those books too. Astrology is the other thing I'm gonna get into, but not today. We're sticking with religion today. Back to what I'm saying. So number one, again, all praise is for God, the originator of the heavens and the earth, who made angels as his messenger with wings, 2, 3, or 4. He increases in creation whatever he wills. Surely God is most capable of everything. Whatever mercy, I say mercy or murky? I keep saying murky, but it's mercy, I think. Whatever mercy God opens, like I said, my words are dyslexia, excuse me. Whatever murky God opens or mercy God opens up for people, none can withhold it, and whatever he withholds, none but him can release it, for he is almighty, all wise. And before that, I'm cleared up for myself because I don't want to be saying the wrong words, have people getting the wrong message out there because they can't remember whether you can replace the word with the other word. So, my phone is I'm being used in it right now. Excuse me, I'm gonna grab another telephone. Right on time, God. My room is dark, so because my room is dark, I say right on, God, because I was able to see it right away, and the alarm was going off, especially when I was looking for something I needed. And it's funny because it's got 1000. Number 10, you look it up, it means so many things, it signifies so many stuff, but it says 1000, now it's a 1. But it was 10 a.m., the alarm went off, and today is Monday, December 8th, 2025. 2025. By the way, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Yeah. Anyways and stuff. So yeah. Thank you guys for allowing. Oh, again, sorry, my ADHD gets in the way. What I was supposed to do with that? Clear my words. Let me see. How do you spell mercy? Compassion or forgiveness shown toward. Okay, so mercy, it is mercy, I believe you say MERCY. Compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. That's what mercy is. Murky. Let's do murky. The meaning or the spelling of murky. Oh, okay. More personal message. Continue. Ask me in 3 days. Ask me in 3 days. Okay. The spelling murky comes from Middle English, so murky, dark. So MIRKE is Middle English, then MURKY is the way we spelled it, I guess, murky. So dark and gloomy, lacking light, often due to smoke, mist, or shadow. Murky depths. There you go, murky. Which many might say, man, might be me. You know, because this might be a little murky, but because I'm actually going to put this video and other things on the internet, if I'm able to, it's not going to be murky anymore. It's going to be very, very visible, very continual, especially when I start putting it on TikTok, YouTube. So, you know, I'm going to open up my own also, I'm going to try to at least open my own, or start my own, what do you call that again? Man, I had the word right in my mouth. ADD gets in the way all the time. ADHD. What's that word I'm looking for? Broadcast. There we go. Broadcast. You know, with a microphone, people on the other end, or just me talking. You know, I see a lot of that going on. I should have done it a long time ago, but like I said, I have to get my words and my water right. You know, I have to learn my water. I have to drink my water so I can always hydrate, stay hydrated. You know, you don't never want to dehydrate and pass out, so you gotta keep drinking your water. And yeah. Yeah, so murky is dark, gloomy, unclear, and then mercy is the other one, mercy, which is compassion and all that. Something that should have been punished for what they're doing, but since I'm not murky, I'm worth mercy. You know what I'm saying? God showed me mercy at the moment for what I'm doing, because I'm not coming murky. I'm coming with straight clarity. And straight, you know what I'm saying? So like I say, but if I gotta take place of that in order to become that 1000, let that be then, you know, but I wouldn't want to give that a face either, because supposedly it can't inhabit a body, so I don't think that's what I am when they say an angel either. Talk about it and I get mixed in my own emotions and weird thoughts. Back to what I'm talking about. One God only. Where's number 2 at? I see number 1, where's number 2? Okay, so number 1 is, oh, that's the whole thing. Oh, my bad. I thought it was just one little thing. Okay, so God's power, number 1, creation and mercy. All praise is for God, the originator of the heavens and the earth, who made angels as his messengers with wings. 2, 3, or 4. dismiss that. I don't know why it went off again. Maria, your alarm keeps going off. I don't know if you're supposed to wake up at 10 or what. 10:05, man. I'm gonna go back again. Man, wow. What was that? Something about angels. Okay, there it is. His messengers with wings, 2, 3, or 4. He increases in creation whatever he wills. Surely God is most capable of everything. Whatever mercy God opens up for people, none can withhold it. And whatever he withholds, none but him can release it. For he is the Almighty, all-wise. One God only. Oh, humanity. It's funny because I see the word "oh," and I also see it in the Bible, "oh." And I always say God is a circle. Why do I say God is a circle? Well, because everything that you notice, like from letters to signs, they have a circle around them. You know what I'm saying? To highlight them. God has a circle around his head, or Jesus has a circle around his head. The sun is circle. Our planets are circle. Everything's in rotation. I mean, everything has to do with a circle. You understand what I'm saying? There's always rotation going on. You know what I'm saying? So I call God a circle. 360, history. You know, what goes around comes around. Karma. You know, this is God. You know what I'm saying? So a circle is another way I represent God itself. And then the Milky Way. It's a swirl, right? So circle. Oh, humanity. So it starts with the circle and then humanity, which is funny because when I saw that in the book, I was like, oh, there's O. So, oh, humanity, remember God's favors upon you. Is there any creator other than God who provides for you from the heavens and the earth? There is no God worthy of worship except him. How can you then be deluded from the truth? And then that was number 3. So number 4 in here is, if you are rejected by them, so too were messengers before you, and to God all matters will be returned for judgment. Warning against Satan. O humanity, indeed God's promise is true, so do not let the life of this world deceive you, nor let the chief deceiver deceive you about God. Surely Satan is an enemy to you, so take him as an enemy. He only invites his followers to become inmates of the blaze. The blaze. I'm not sure what that means, what the blaze is. But like I said, hell, I forgot when I was trying to explain that. Hell to me is I didn't understand. No, where's hell, right? There's no heaven, there's no hell. That's where I came with this, right? This, you know, even after I go to church and all that and everything, you know, and when I took my little walk with Satan, I thought I was banging Satanas and all this other stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? When I took that walk, you know, I thought, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, none of this shit is real, right? I didn't understand none of this shit. I was like, all this shit's stupid. Right? You know, I thought God was weak. You know what I'm saying? So to be bad, you know what I'm saying? You have to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got no balls. You can't do this. You can't do that. You got to be down and all that shit. You know, that's the stupid shit I used to feel when I was a kid, you know? Never understood the baddest motherfucker that walked was really Jesus. You know, even though I, at first, did not know, or I also used to say that's not God. Even though I would say God isn't everyone, so we're all God. That's crazy, right? So in a sense, yeah, it is God. That's what I tell myself again, right? So, like I said, you know, Jesus was the hardest motherfucker to walk on earth. Why Jesus? Because the man took upon the entire world, and at the time, it's like you facing the Marines, and you facing the Russian army, and you facing the government, and you telling them, you can't do that, man. That takes balls. And for anyone to be able to tell any leadership or any empowerment, you suck, you can't do shit, that's some balls. So that's always courage, bravery. It might be stupidity, but at the same time, though, like I said, you know, the ones that walk really walk. The ones that talk really just talk. So I'm taking a walk. Is what I feel I'm doing in my life. I don't just want to be taught, you know. But we'll see what happens. You know, hopefully we all walk the right direction. Wait for the distortion to distort itself out the way. Distort itself. So back again, hell, even though I did say the sun is the sun, it talks about an eternal fire. Eternal fire means it's a fire that doesn't stop burning. Now, something that doesn't stop burning and lasts forever, and I thought to myself, if there was a hell, and I think about it, and I actually looked it up, I was like, how many Earths, how many of our little world can fit inside a hell? It said over 1 billion something can fit, like it actually gave a number, over 1 billion something Earths or 1 million something Earths can fit in hell. Well, shit, if humanity has not lived long enough, you know what I'm saying, as in like 1 million fucking years and shit of humans, you know what I mean, then hell has a lot more space for people like us, you know, to burn up. And if that being God or Jesus being the Son, it makes more sense that that'll be the one burning your ass up because he's the only one who's got the authority to do it, right? So what I'm trying to say though, regardless of being the maker, creator, or like taker, I'm just saying that the Son is also what you got to go through in order to get into heaven also. So it's funny how God has his way of just doing that back and forth thing all the time. And I don't know why, but I always thought, like, why would he do that? That's so much trickery. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. And then I started understanding it the more I got to know there's only one God, there's only one power. So who's going to handle it all? The one. Anyways, back to my, like I said, more interpretation of what I'm saying. Because if I gave it to another power, oh, Satan and God are the ones that rule. Suck a dick. God is the only one that rules. If you believe that Satan has any power, stop speaking, Satan. Back to what I'm saying, the evildoers and the good doers. Number 7. Those who disbelieve will have a severe punishment, but those who believe and do good will have forgiveness and a great reward. Are those whose evil doing is made so appealing to them that they deem it good. Like those who are rightly guided, it is certainly God, who leads to stray whoever he wills and guide whoever he wills. So do not grieve yourself to death over them, O prophet. Surely God is all-knowing of what they do. Yeah, if God is in everything and God is in all, you best believe he knows what you're doing. He's right there with you, whether you want to believe it or not. And that's where many of us can't get with God, understand, see God. It's because you're blinded by your own thoughts. If you really stop and think about what the all means, if you don't know what all means, then you got to know you're degenerate. A degenerate would not understand what all means. All is all. Even the piece of wood has God in it. But then again, though, like I said, you don't understand, then you don't understand, right? So let it be what it is. I speak the way I speak because I'm a degenerate. So if I'm going to make fun of degenerates, I can do it because I'm a degenerate. So like I said, you got to be a real degenerate, like a low degenerate to understand what the word all doesn't mean. Or overstand. Or, yeah, like I said, damn, degenerate shit. My bad. God's power, number 2, the wind. And it is God who sends the winds, which then stir up vapor forming clouds, and then we drive them to a lifeless land, giving life to the earth after its death. Similar is the resurrection. All unord and power belongs to God. Whoever seeks unord and power, then let them know that all unord and power belongs to God. To him alone good words ascend, and righteous deeds are raised up by him. As for those who plot evil, they will suffer a severe punishment, and the plotting of such people is doomed to fail. God's power, number 3, creation of humans. And it is God who created you from dust, then developed you from a sperm drop, then made you into pairs. No female ever conceives or delivers without his knowledge, and no one's life is made long or cut short, but is written in a record. That is certainly easy for God. God's power, number 4, fresh and salt water. It's funny too because, I like to consider myself a fresh cut, you know what I'm saying? And not cut, really it's like fresh purity of a cut, you know what I'm saying? Or a cut slice of purity. No, I'm just saying, no, I like to, consider myself a fresh new cut, fresh, fresh off the, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of cool when I hear the word fresh also, just interacting with myself and what the message is. Fresh and salt water. The two bodies of water are not alike. One is fresh, palatable, and pleasant to drink, and the other is salty and bitter. Yet from them both you eat tender seafood and extract ornaments to wear. And you see the ships plowing their way through both. So you may seek his bounty and give thanks to him. God's power, number 5, alternation of day and night. He merges the night into the day and the day into the night, and has subjected the sun and the moon, each orbiting for an appointed term. That is God, your Lord. All authority belongs to him. But those idols you invoke besides him do not possess even the skin of a date stone. If you call upon them, they cannot hear you call. And if they were to hear, they could not respond to you. On the day of judgment, they will disown your worship of them. And no one can inform you, O prophet, like the all-knowledgeable. I'm going to leave some of these things that God is talking about to God, because I cannot take everything from God, which means when I started this and I began to do this, I wanted for God to not give me any magical powers. I don't want to be able to heal anybody. I don't want to be able to transform the sky into whatever. I don't want to split the moon. I don't want to do none of that crazy stuff. That in itself is just weird to me. If I was able to use my powers to lift the TV or like shoot laser out my eye, that shit would weird me the fuck out. Oops, excuse my language. Again, sorry. I'm trying to get myself together on this. So I asked God, please, I don't want no magic. No, I just want straight clarity and more sense of what these books do and why so many people follow. Sometimes I feel like we're just stuck in the spell, like the spell of a book or something. Like, I don't know, like people just, but you got to really be in the spiritual sense of what I'm trying to say, what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, you're probably like, what's he talking about? Well, anyways, though, some of us know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And really, in reality, it's both. It's really both, but it is what God does and what God's about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying my best to just keep it as clear and as informed for everyone and anyone that has God on their mind, because I do want one God world, not a one government world. Please, let's get that correct. I don't want a one government world. I want a one God world. If I believe humans are the embodiment of Satan, they're not with God, that's pretty much what I believe is Satan's rulership. The one world thing. But then again, though, that's what I'm claiming, but under God, not under government, which government tries to say is the peaceful way instead of God. Now that's Satan deceiving the people, as in forget the whole religion thing, let's just keep it a government thing. But that's telling themselves lies as well as you and me, because we're the enslavement of that while they live the free world, and we're actually the enslavement of their money. That's really a delusion. Sorry, I didn't want to get all into that. I don't want to disrespect or make anybody kill me before anything. I don't have it. I can't find it. Sorry. I had to use the stove to light.
God.
So I don't have the lighter. Sorry. Sorry for the interruption. That was my wife. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep doing what I do, because I believe it's time for people to know the truth. Because I want to know the truth. God's power, alternation of day and night. He merges the night into the day and the day into the night, and has subjected the sun and the moon, each orbiting for an appointed term. That is God, your Lord. All authority belongs to him, but those idols you invoke besides him do not possess even the skin of a date stone. If you call upon them, they cannot hear your calls. And if they were to hear, they could not respond to you.
Okay.
On the day of judgment, they will disown your worship of them. And no one can inform you, O prophet, like the all-knowledgeable. Like I said, if you don't understand what that means, I'm not going to clear that up for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to keep these things, like I said, to God. Because I don't want to, make it seem like, God's willingly going to share everything without you keeping faith. Because that's taking away from faith. So I'm going to keep things as far as I can, take it as far as I can before I feel like I need to back up, because I'm not there yet. I'm just messing around. Anyways, so God's power, number 6, sustenance. O humanity, It is you who stand in need of God, but God alone is the self-sufficient, praiseworthy. If he willed, he could eliminate you and produce a new creation, and that is not difficult for God at all. And this is my word. I agree. I agree, especially with what I know now in the life that I've been living. He ain't lying. It ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? It ain't lying. I'm talking about God. Infinite is not lying. Everyone is accountable for themselves. No soul burdened with sin will bear the burden of another. And if a sin burdened soul cries for help with its burden, none of it will be carried. Even only warn those who you, O prophet, can only warn those who stand in awe of the Lord without seeing him. An established prayer, whoever purifies themselves, they only do so for their own good, and to God is the final return. That's something in my practice I'm gonna get deep into. Like I said, I'm beginning my walk. By the end of this, I want to be able to sprint, jump, and all kinds of crap like breakdance and everything. I'm just saying with the word and with the style, but who knows how far I get with it, right? How long I got to do this. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm gonna do, though. You know what I'm saying? Definitely want to purify myself, because purifying is part of the process. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because the church talks about it, Christianity talks about it, and they claim every Sunday they come back, and I say claim because, like I said, I don't walk Christianity, I don't walk Catholic. Catholics, I disowned my church, but I got my own reasons. And I did that for my own reasons, like I said. So I'm not religious anymore. But a lot of noise going on with all the building and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it where it's at, right? Like the last one is God's power, diversity. Do you not see that God sends down rain from the sky, with which we bring forth fruits of different colors, and in mountains are streaks of varying shades of white, red, and raven black, just as people, living beings, and cattle are of various colors, as well of all of God's servants. Only the knowledgeable of his might are truly in awe of him. God indeed almighty, all forgiving. I want to go back to that because the Mormons, when I was in their church, I heard one of them perceiving us as cattle. He said we're cattle. You know what I'm saying? He's an older individual. He was like really old, but he was like, someone really good in the church, But when he talked about, what I'm saying, the people and how it's easier with the book than without the book, he referred to the people as cattle. And I didn't like that. You understand? Because if you know what happens to cattle, well, you wouldn't want to be called cattle. But either way, it's the church, it's the man, his metaphor of speaking and saying it clearly how he felt. But I see where he comes from in the color of his skin, so I understand how a man could be cattle to him. What I'm trying to say, though, the last one was God's power, number 7, diversity. Do you not see that God sends down rain from the sky, with which we bring forth fruits of different colors, and in the mountains are streaks of varying shades, white, red, and raven black, just as people, living beings, and cattle are of various colors, as well of all of God's servants. Only the knowledgeable of his might are truly in awe of him. God is indeed almighty, all forgiving. And I'm going to stop there because of the distortion in the background. But thank you. Love you. This is all God's work. Stop hating, bitches. Some real ass shit going on, hater. Stay the fuck out the way.